So we've seen that yesterday night, 3 women, 2 of which were elderly, got killed in border villages in Armenia by Azeri forces. What is your reaction to that?
Our first reaction, of course, it's sadness. It's sadness because we knew that something like that could happen again. We knew that there is a way of act by the Azeri government which against the principles of human rights, the same principles that they have subscribed once they joined the Council of Europe or once they joined the the European Court of Human Rights, and then they are acting again against these principles. And this is unacceptable for us. This is unacceptable for a continent that talks to the Azeri government as a friend, and we cannot afford to have a friend like that.
And what would you like? This happened 2 weeks ago actually, a similar incident happened where Armenians living within the Republic of Armenia got killed by Azeri forces. Europe has not been very vocal about that. How would you like Europe to react now?
You see, what you were saying is right. There hasn't been a big voice by the international community against this violence that has been that happened in the border between Azerbaijan and Armenia. What happened in the meanwhile during these 2 weeks was a resolution approved by the European Parliament that made some people very angry. Who was proposed by the subcommittee of human rights, who was addressing pretty strongly the Azeri government on the violation of human rights and on the action in the in the neighborhood policy. And the reaction that we had as international community, especially by our governments, were negative. We were kind of lectured of being irresponsible to address a country who have to be friends because of who should be friends because of the energy policy.
Exactly. Why do you think national governments are afraid to speak out against Azerbaijan, even though it's killing Armenian civilians in a UN-recognized independent state?
I consider this behavior totally irresponsible because we're speaking again about this resolution. We were talking the previous day about the relations we had with Belarus, and we were addressing very strongly sanctioning them because we don't have business in in the energy sector with them. So when it comes to someone who is in another context, because when we talk about the Azeri government, we are talking about something different. So the thing that I cannot accept, that is from this parliament, from this institution, is that you put the economical interests of the geopolitical interests of the energy strategy for the next year before what is human rights, before lives of people, before the ideas that should be the first priority of all here in the European
And what
Union.
would you like the European Commission to do following the tragedy of today?
I would see for the first time the European Commission to be coherent with what they say. So if we address some country for violations like that, we should be very firm, very strong, very coherent in addressing the Azeri government not to do anything like that anymore. This is what I expect if the European Commission wants to be considered coherent and credible for the future.
Right, thank you very much.